Alright, hello everybody, welcome back in today. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day today. I wish you all a happy Easter with your friends and family and everything. I just wanted to finally actually release my video on the Ashen simulation ships and everything, the two new ships that we got, and then obviously the other ships that were during the first event and everything like that, and then give my thoughts and opinions on the event and if it's worth farming and stuff like that, and what maps to farm if you do want to farm it, everything like that, and what ships to kind of aim for. Other than that, I didn't have any bunny ears, for Easter, so I decided to use cat ears. It's kind of like the same thing, right? Not really, but thought I would get in the mood a little bit today. But I didn't have bunny ears, so cat ears is gonna be the best we can do. Anyway, guys, further ado, let's go ahead and pretty much talk about the event in general. So the event we have right now is our beautiful event, the Ashen Simulation, which brought us, Birdingham, Alwyn, Baltimore, Alabama, and the two new ships, Ashen Poder and Ashen M Summer. From the previous event, we only had this half right here, which was Alabama, Baltimore, Alwyn, and Birdingham, and then we got the two new ones, which were Ashen M Summer and Ashen Poder. So they brought us two new DDs, and then the first half we had a BB, a CA, another DD, and another CL, part of the Cleveland class. Physical opinion on the event, if you do want to farm it, is completely up to you. My personal event, I don't actually really like how this event's maps are laid out and everything. I'm not a big fan of having an event that has submarines or ASW focus inside of an event, especially for new players, because new players aren't going to have ASW equipment to kill submarines. So they're going to just sit there on that node and their shit is going to just keep instantly dying or taking forever to battle and stuff like that. And to be honest, there's really nothing that is worth farming out of the event. I mean, D3 you can farm the sub of Cavilia, and Cavilia is okay if you don't really have a sub, but other than that, she's not extremely worth it. My recommendation would probably just to get enough points to get your PR prints and your DR prints from the event shop and everything like that. The PR prints are the prints that allow you to level up your priority ships and stuff like that. If you know what a PR ship is, I have a video that you can go see as well in my channels, and it explains kind of what a priority ship is. And the DR ships are the same thing, that it falls around PR and stuff like that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get into the ships. We'll start off with one of my personal favorites that we actually got from the event that was super hype. And that is Alabama. Alabama is an extremely great battleship to have, especially as a new player. Really good firepower at level 120, good AA, solid reload, good, decent aviation. Doesn't cost 15. She has an SSR. I love any character that has a design that has a scythe in it. It's just like MMOs, I always had scythe characters, and anything with a scythe is an instant win with me. So when I saw Alabama, it was already an instant win to begin with Alabama in general. And Alabama has two skills. She has Lucky A, which is while the ship is afloat, it increases the ship's aviation by 12 and decreases the damage taken from enemy torpedoes by 20% for your main fleet. And in every 20 seconds, she has a 75% chance to fire a special barrage. And so the torp thing isn't so whatever, but the evasion buff and then having the special barrage trigger is really nice, because then you can trigger a special barrage and then you can set up her just getting fired up, which is her skill that kind of puts her aside from other battleships, that makes her what she truly is and makes her an actually extremely great mobbing battleship for new players to have. And that is, every time the ship is in defeats an enemy fleet during the sortie, increases this battleship's own firepower by 2.5%. After 5 enemy fleets have been defeated, reduce damage taken by your main fleet by 8%. During combat, for every enemy the ship sinks, increases own firepower by 2.5%, stacking up to 7 times. That skill alone, she's giving you damage reduction for the sortie of your fleet being sunk, your composition that your fleet sinks, and she's increasing her own damage so when she destroys stuff. So her already having good firepower, you put her into a mob fleet, she kills everything that's in front of her in the mob fleet. She's constantly stacking up her damage, and every time she hits someone with those salvos, that salvos is going to do way more damage. So optimal loadout that we're looking for Alabama would be your traditional battleship gun, which is your 406 Mark 6 main gun. One of the best in slots for your battleships as of right now, because the Monarch gun is not worth investing into and takes way too much prints, and at plus 12 it's the same exact output as a plus 10 Mark 6, so there's no fucking point in actually using the Monarch gun at all. So HE rounds, pretty high damage per salvo. Your secondary would be the Twin 127, or you could use the if you want to use fireboat killers, you could use the Twin 127. You could use the Twin 128 TBSK. You could also use the Twin 152 if they equip it. If not, your Twin 128 would be your best bet, or you could use the Twin 128 from your Operation Siren, which gives you more damage, fire range, firepower, a little bit lesser AA than the dual purpose, but it gives you more firepower, which and its ammo type is AP. But the firepower is kind of the main thing you want, because they are battleships and they want to have as much firepower as possible. So that'll be your other slot. Your other here would be a Stag Bofer or Bofers. If not, you can use the Twin 105 or any other AA you have. You can use the Hasmeyers as well if you have Hasmeyers. And then you have white shell, black shell, or if you don't have a black shell, you could use the fire control radar, or you could use the golden fire control radar. Whatever you have would be optimal here. But your main gun, you primarily want that 406. If you don't have this, which by then you should at least have one of these, you could use, a 410, but your 406 is going to be like your main one that you would want to go with. Moving on to our next ship from the event, is going to be another personal favorite of mine and a lot of people that they've been wanting, and that is Baltimore. Baltimore, everyone knows, one of the best CAs in the entire game. Very high tier waifu, and a really good CA in terms of general output, damage, survivability, buffing, and everything like that. Her first, she has a really good firepower, pretty good, okay AA, pretty decent aviation. Evasion, not aviation, evasion for a CA and everything like that as well. Your first skill is Absolute Ammunition. Changes the ammo type of the ship's main gun to special AP. The damage is bonus is based on the skill. So she actually, why this is actually really good for her, the Twin 203 model 1927 main gun that we got from the French rerun, is that this, even though this is semi-armor piercing, Baltimore has the ability with her Absolute Ammunition skill to actually what we call armor break an enemy and turn this into super heavy AP ammunition, even though it's semi-armor piercing, because she is one of the few CAs or ships in the game that actually ammo swap, like Rerun, where Rerun swaps from HE to AP. Baltimore swaps their ammo type from the semi-armor piercing to super heavy AP, which has the ability to armor pierce targets and armor break them, which means it shreds their armor completely, setting up a lot better damage for your team comp and everything as well. But her other main skill that's really good is her adapted tactics, especially if you're going to be using Eagle Union CVs or crew. When Sword of Eagle Union CVs or CVLs increases your fleet's AA by 7% and increases Eagle Union CV and CVL's aviation by 15%. If sorted without Eagle Union CVs or CVLs, increases the ship's firepower by 12% and aviation by 15%. So if you don't want to use CVs in the Eagle Union class, or you're just using her to level, you can pretty much sort her by herself, and she's going to get a firepower buff and evasion buff. And then if you are going to actually level up your carriers, such as like Saratoga, S6, Interped, Enterprise, everything like that, she'll buff them as well. So that's one of the few actual cruisers in the game that Baltimore as a CA actually buffs your CVLs and buffs herself. So she has adaptive buff, which is what makes her stand out between the other CAs in the game and everything like that as well. And having the ability to actually ammo swap and have adaptive tactics. So if you obtain Baltimore during the event, She'll be extremely great for you. She can actually solo some higher chapters by herself, just being in the front with like her buff and everything like that as well. If you have your beaver badge and your dishwasher, she can pretty much just solo frontline and everything like that as well. Or you can put her into a team comp and she'll just do even better as well. But yeah, Baltimore and Alabama, obviously two of the highest end waifus that everybody wanted to rerun and to obtain. And Baltimore being right up there with the top anyways. Very good overall pick and very solid person to have and everything like that as well. Moving on is actually another favorite of mine. I actually really liked her, is Birdingham. Birdingham is a Cleveland class cruiser, so part of the Cleveland class. And so we all know that they already have a high AA, so if you need another AA gunboat to level that don't cost you a lot of oil, Birdingham is a perfect pick. And if you picked her up, even one of the better routes to use. She's Tenacious Knight, which, while the ship is afloat, decreases your burn damage by 3% for this ship and your flagship. When an enemy aircraft is shot down within your fleet's anti-air gun range, increases the ship's firepower and AA by 15%. Even though it does not stack, but she's increasing her firepower and her AA, which her AA is already pretty high at 346 and everything as well. And then her other fun skill is the Resolution Knight of the Sea. When the ship takes damage, 10% chance to increase the ship's aviation by 40% for 5 seconds. Has an 8-second cooldown between activations. Once per battle, when the ship's HP has fallen below 30%, the ship evades all enemy attacks for 5 seconds. For this ship being an elite, this is actually an extremely good 2 set of skills. She has an AA buff mixed with aviation, and she also has a self-heal and pretty much also invades all attacks and everything as well. So an extremely great CBL to level you can put in your mob fleet that will provide you excellent pretty source of damage and AA as well. If you don't have like Cleveland or anything like that, or Monty, she will definitely help you out with your fleet if you're lacking AA or anything like that, or need a ship to level that doesn't cost you a lot as well and everything like that as well. We're not going to even talk about All-One because All-One's not even that great. So we'll move on to the two newest characters that came out to this event, which I personally been testing leveling up during the event, and that is Ashen M Summer, which is our new destroyer that we got from this event. And she is a AA firepower focused destroyer. AA destroyer, kind of like Z46, but here's the other key. Ashen M Summer is actually still very impressive as far as a destroyer, but the other thing is that I'm not too fond of AA heavy focused destroyers, but what makes it really unique is that this skill right here, bang for your buck, when there's at least one more Eagle Union ship in the same fleet as this ship, or when this ship has sunk 2 or more enemies, increases the ship's torpedo and AA by 13.8% until the end of the battle. When the ship equips Eagle Union gear in battle, the ship additionally equips a special level 9 AA gun, and the AA gun is based on the ship's skills damage. So this is where it gets interesting because of this. With the Eagle Union equips special Eagle Union gear, this AA gun that it provides has 100% efficiency as well. The special AA gun that it equips. And on top of that, she also has this shooting gun star, which decreases the burn duration inflicted on the ship by 3% and increases your damage dealt to light armor enemies by 5%. And then every 20 seconds, you have a 70% chance to fire a barrage, and the damage is based on skill, and increases your fleet's AA by 10%. So we have a destroyer that increases our AA, that also has a 100% efficiency in a special gun if she equips Eagle Union gear, which if you're running the Bofors is Eagle Union gear as well for the anti-air and everything as well. Has pretty solid torp stat, has pretty solid AA for a destroyer, and has pretty decent firepower. She's going to be a very unique destroyer to obtain. If you actually did get her, I would recommend using her if you do not have a destroyer leveled up or anything like that as well. She gets torp preload as well. She gets torp blaze +1, all weapon efficiencies +3. improved on and all assault, another weapon efficiency and everything like that as well to all of her weapons. But overall, a very interesting destroyer that came out to us, and I highly really want to test more. So I would definitely be working on Ashen M Summer to see how valuable it is, especially like chapter 12 or 13 or something, to see how good she's gonna be and everything like that as well. So for going on, our last and final one is going to be the other destroyer that I haven't tested yet, but I've been hearing some pretty interesting things about her, and that's Ashen Poder, which shows one Mystical Protector at the start of the battle increases the ship's AA and evasion by 5% for 60 seconds. While there are 3 ships in your vanguard and ships in this middle position, decrease damage taken by your vanguard's frontmost ship by 4% for 50 seconds, and increases damage dealt by your vanguard backmost ship for 4% for 50 seconds. So she has an insane lasting buff that's like pretty stupid. Increases her own AA and evasion by, I'm pretty sure at max level it's like 10% or 15% for 60 seconds. And then she also decreases the damage taken by your vanguard by almost 10, I'm pretty sure it's 10 for 50 seconds, and increases the damage dealt by your vanguard's backmost ship by another percentage as well. And on top of that, she also has air raid assistance while the ship is afloat, increases the damage of all carriers in your fleet by 5%. So we have a very interesting elite destroyer that came out of nowhere that I haven't really read into her stats or anything at max level, but we have a destroyer that not only, if you pair with Baltimore and everything, they're receiving Baltimore's buff, she also buffs them as well. So you have 2 carrier buffs from these front lines, and then you also have her other one where she's buffing herself and buffing your vanguard as well. So this for an elite is actually pretty solid. I'll actually be working on leveling her up too and everything like that as well, and then give you my final opinion on her and everything like that as well. But Ashen Poder are looking pretty interesting as far as a destroyer that is going to be worth leveling up and everything. So without further ado, guys, that's all I pretty much wanted to make a video on today, was just my opinions and thoughts about the event. If you do want to farm it, it's completely up to you. I don't think it's worth it. I would just go to the event and pretty much just get your, your points and get your, specialist points. If you want the oil and coins, you could totally do that too, and then maybe get like these, like the plates and everything. Other than that, all this other, the boxes, the cat stuff, the cognitive chimps and Cavella is not worth it. You can get here from farming D3, so that's completely up to you and everything. Other than that, I just want to give my opinions on the ships and everything. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And again, happy Easter to everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy the content and everything as well, please like and comment and subscribe. I do enjoy reading all your guys' comments, and I do like all of the support and everything that you guys have given to the channel, as we are almost at 700 subs, which is just crazy. I know I've been lacking on videos and everything, but I do have more videos in mind. I just haven't been able to make them yet due to my job, but I do have a video that I do want to get out, especially on gear. I've been seeing a lot of issues with gearing of ships and stuff like that recently now, especially from the Operation Siren meta, stuff like that, with people having improper gear and stuff like that on their ships and everything like that, and wondering what gear is best in slot and everything like that. So we'll start making those videos out as well. We'll probably break them down into category like best in slot gear for destroyers, best in slot gear for light cruisers, so on, and go from there. Whatever it is, happy Easter everybody. I hope you enjoy your time with your friends and family, and I'll see all you guys again next time. Until then, peace out. Come follow me on my social media and my Twitch, and stay awesome. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.